Good morning, YouTubers. Welcome to Morning Coffee with Mike. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Hope everyone is doing fantastico. I'm just in a cul-de-sac, my favorite little cul-de-sac here over by the highway. You got the view of the beautiful mountains here. You got the view of the smoke in the mountains on that side. So it is kind of smoky, but it's not bad. I mean, you can't really smell the smoke. So once you start smelling the smoke, you know that things are getting bad fast. Or things are getting bad and let's say a little bit hazier. But it's okay. It's manageable. There's a lot of cars coming through the town, coming up on the hill here to get fuel, donuts, stuff at Canadian Tire here. Or, you know people are traveling and it's busy when the McDonald's drive-thru goes out into the middle of the street and traffic can't go up and down the street. Never mind the parking lot of the McDonald's. You can't even get into the drive-thru. I mean, never mind the drive-thru. You can't even get past the drive-thru lineup in the middle of the street is what I meant to say. Sorry about that. Happy Tuesday to everybody. Okay, what is going on? Well, there's a lot of crap they're trying to feed us. Why are they feeding us this crap? Who knows? Well, we know why. We know why. But they're trying. But there's a lot of us that are awake that understand the situation. So this one's being reported here. Listen to this. This ain't a joke. This ain't. FBI asking citizens to report extremism among family and friends. So your buddy next door, or so your brother that didn't go to college, that owns 2 properties, renting one out, owns a nice SUV, has no debt, that didn't take the way you took, you go ahead and call on him. You go ahead and even make something up on him. You get him on that list. Because you believed all the bullshit they were feeding you all those years, and you're in debt over. You're gonna see. I wish they could have a poll to see how many people are in severe debt and have college degrees. That call on people. It'll be very interesting to see. So FBI over the weekend released a call for Americans to report suspicious behavior and signs of mobilization. The agency tweeted Sunday, so you could go check the tweet out yourself. Family members and peers are often best positioned to witness signs of mobilization to violence. So what are they trying to tell us here? What is this crap? Mobilization to violence. Who makes up this shit? Mobilization to violence. Mobilization. Okay. When I think of mobilize, I think of Transformers. Mobilize, move, and roll out. That's what I'm thinking. And what were the Transformers doing? They were defending the world from the Decepticons and protecting us. Family members, but often visit the blah, blah, blah to see the US.gov. Included in the tweet is a link to the FBI documenting, detailing homegrown violent extremism mobilization indicators, which are observable behaviors that could be to help determine whether individuals or groups are preparing to engage in violent extremist activities. Okay, so if you have a family member that's been collecting fertilizer for the last 30 years and they're just stockpiling it, maybe you could call on that. That's fine. Let's find out how much grass he really has, right? But when it comes to this, it's going to actually mobilize a lot of the people who basically bought into this. And you know what it is? They're going to be calling on people that didn't take the gene therapy injection. Because a lot of people believed in the science. You throw science, lots of wood. You can take science and throw it out the window. Science has not been in benefit for humans in ages because they would have found cures for a lot of these sicknesses. We wouldn't have to be injecting gene therapy into people. I don't know. I'm not going to get into that right now. Winnipeg. So if you're out of Canada, Winnipeg is named one of the most intelligent communities in the world. You can't make this garbage up. Here it is. If you don't believe. The most intelligent. I've been to Manitoba. I've been to Winnipeg. And all I remember when I was in Winnipeg is my family being followed by really sketchy people. like looking to jump us or roll us or do something to us. That's all I remember. I think there's an underground mall or underground connection that takes you to the mall, the stadium. I've been all around that area. Spent, I think, a day and a half, 2 days. And yeah, all I remember from Winnipeg is this really sketchy feeling of people kind of checking you out to see if you're worth rolling or stealing from. That's just me. But Winnipeg, for the fourth time in a decade, Winnipeg has been recognized as one of the most intelligent communities in the world. A lot of people call it Murderpeg, but all right. Winnipeg and 6 other cities from around the world were given the honor of intelligent communities. You know what Winnipeg reminds me of? Like Baltimore. Like places like that. Buffalo, New York, like that kind of, like Barfalo, like that kind of. The Intelligent Community Forum is a global movement of 180 cities, metro regions, and counties with a mission to make everyone's hometown a great place. Winnipeg's selection for top 7 communities being named the Smart 21 Community of the Year, which narrowed a competitive field of submissions down to 21 most compelling cities back in February. So I'm not going to keep reading this because it's a waste of your time and my time. But if you're living in Manitoba, where obviously Winnipeg is Winnipeg is in Manitoba, I got some good news for you. Vaccinated Manitobans, so if you took the gene therapy injection, vaccinated Manitobans get extra freedoms as province starts to reopen after hitting immunization targets. So if you're vaccinated and you're fully vaccinated, there's more freedoms for you to get your hair and nails done. I think people that understand what the situation is, I think they'll think twice about getting you know what I mean. Reopening plan includes expand freedoms of fully vaccinated people, increasing outdoor gathering sizes. Manitobans can visit their hair salons, gyms, starting on Saturday for the first time in more than a month, and fully vaccinated residents can start to enjoy new freedoms, thanks to the vaccination targets being met earlier than expected. Earlier this month, the province let out a vaccination goals for reopening by certain dates. Initially, the aim was 70% to eligible Manitobans with 1 dose, 25% with 2 by July. But the province surpassed those benchmarks in earlier week. So there you go. Manitoba, most intelligent Winnipeg, most intelligent city in the world. See? Gotta follow the footprint. Follow! All right. Death toll mounts in South Africa over Zuma jailing. So it's very hard to find actual real reports on South Africa. South Africa was a British colony. It was very industrialized, very well built, with airports, stadiums, libraries, all kinds. And so was Portuguese Africa, Angola, and Mozambique. And they basically kicked out all the people, or the Portuguese, from there, from the countries they've been in for over 500 plus years. Imagine Israel colonized back in the 1500s, and they were asked to give up. They wouldn't do that. They would let them take over the world if they. I'm just kind of throwing that out there, right? But yeah, because it's the Portuguese, and yeah. But anyways. And they actually spent money on infrastructure. And look it up. The Cubans were in Angola. Cuban soldiers in Angola to make it communism. So death toll mounts in South African riots over Zuma jailing. So South Africa's turning into a third world country. It is a third world country, but it's getting worse. And especially with them murdering white farmers that actually were the breadbasket, that were there for, some people were there for 3-4 family generations. They weren't there like, they came in the 1800s to farm South African lands, to expand. Cuba protests. Thousands rally against government and economy struggles. So Cuba is basically, they want out of communism, and they're waving American flags, and they want freedom. America's the last place on earth. As much as a lot of people despise Americans from all over the world, no. America repelled the English. America put in a Bill of Rights, a constitution. America actually created a country at first for the people, by the people. And it's that constitution that's still holding up right now, that's keeping keeping hope all over the world. And once that constitution falls, we're going to see what happens with that. I think it's going to be a very, very interesting turn of events. Once they start rewording it, rebranding it, changing it, just creating, just inventing shit. This is all shit's invented, you know what I'm saying? All of it's invented. So here it is. So Cuba protests. So they want the communism to end. This is it's easy to rule a country that's corrupt. It's easy for other countries to rule a country that's corrupt, right? So there it is, protests. Journalists getting their faces smashed in, because it's time that Cuba becomes really free. Free Cuba Libre, real Cuba. And again, the West is spinning it as, COVID-19 is out of control in Cuba and hospitals are overfilling. They're making up a bullshit. It's always been spun as that. And in New Zealand, whenever there's a lockdown protest, they spin it as a pro-Trump protest. It's been done before. So anyways, UK medical body slams irresponsible decision to unlock England on July 19 as cases rise. Woo! Okay, UK medical body slams irresponsible decision. British Medical Association, the BMA, has condemned the government's decision to ditch the COVID-19 measures such as masks and social distancing in England in under a week. Well, it's kind of hard because England's been in mass protest. I don't know if you guys have been watching Mike in the Night. We got footage of England protests, and we're not talking about 13, 14 people like the media says. 13 protesters arrived today in downtown. No. 13,000 people every weekend in every major city in England. 20, 30, 40,000 people all over England. And footage coming out of everywhere. England was never locked down, but they're playing this because they have to play this. Everybody knows that our leaders have failed us many times over. And maybe we need to take another course of action, like leave us the hell alone, let us live our own lives. You know? Well, how did they get us? Well, they tax the crap. They tax us to death through taxation. Right, and when they see that failing, they start misspending, and a majority of governments and world powers end up losing everything, or basically turning on their own people because of mismanagement of funds, fake banking systems, all kinds of BS shit. The reason why Portugal was dethroned and they lost their empire in the late 1970s, is because They refused to join the World Bank. They refused to join all this other BS shit. And look what's happened to all the countries that have been freed by Portuguese oppression. And you know what? Portugal is one of the very few countries where the countries that they've given independence to have asked to be recolonized by them many times over. We want the Portuguese back to recolonize. We want the Portuguese back many times, not once, not twice, several dozen times over the last 40 years. Anyways, guys, I look forward to reading your comments below, understanding what it is that's going on in your area. I hope you guys, it's going to be a very interesting turn of times. We are 2 weeks and a few days away, and it's going to get hard. It's going to get hard. Things are going to get out of control. And it's going to spiral real quick. You got a lot of tensions right now with Japan. Japan is kind of in fear with tensions with Taiwan. So this is a big issue, and Japan promised it would side with the United States of America. So that's kind of good that Japan will side with the United States of America, and Japan will hopefully and South Korea, Vietnam, and the Philippines, Cambodia. Hopefully, all those countries will side and unify. India, they're all on one side. So hopefully, I don't know what's going to happen, guys. So I'm going to talk you too much. Morning Coffee with Mike. Thanks for watching, guys. Hope you guys are doing good. Happy Tuesday. God bless everybody. I love you guys. Be good. Be strong. And remember, stay safe. Mike Martin's here. I have spoken.